Reddit by Reddit recap. What is the worst reason someone has used to reject you? My roommate's cat is really sick and needs to go to the vet. Can you take me home? I've got the only car in the house. 1 week later. Hey. How's the cat doing? What cat? If you're gonna lie, at least remember it for a week. I heard your family is full of pieces of I was fat and at best a 6 when I clean up nice so I can get past any comments on my looks. Everyone has their own tastes. Sucks. But whatever. However, being turned down because of my family, that I in no way acted like or resembled, still hurt because I had no control over it. I don't speak English with a French accent, so I wasn't as exotic as they thought I would be. English isn't my first language, but neither is French, so I was quite confused. A guy who brought me to a coffee shop under the guise of a date and broke it off after we'd sat there for an hour talking about a movie he suggested I watch and told me he didn't think I could handle his anxiety. Turns out his anxiety was really another girl he was dating at the same time as me. I'd have just preferred the truth. People try so hard to not hurt each other's feelings or not feeling like a villain, they straight up forget the plain truth can be easier to process and move on from. You're a great woman and I know you'll make someone the happiest man on earth someday. But I also know that man is not me. He wised up. We'll have been married 13 years this September. Because you rejected me a few months ago. And even though I still like you, it's my turn to reject you. I had this in a job interview. I turned a place down. And the job I got instead didn't work out. A recruiter from the company contacted me a few months later, so I restarted the process. When they worked out who I was, they then cut all contact. In first grade, my crush was asking around if someone could tie his shoes because I guess he didn't know how to. Me wanting to tie his shoes and maybe talk to him said, I'll tie your shoes. And then he just said these shoes are a different tie. One stupid reason and one broken-hearted 6-year-old. You dodged a bullet. Dude couldn't even tie his own shoe. I'm really into you. But I still think I want to be with my boyfriend for a few more months. But when he goes back to Pennsylvania, we can start going out. B, I'm not a TV dinner. You can't pop me in the freezer and think I'll be ready to heat up when you're ready for me. She was totally trying to keep you on her hook. Finally, something I can answer. I had a girl reject me, say I can't date you because what if we go on a date to somewhere with stairs? I'm in a wheelchair. My sister had a friend break up with her in 8th grade. The friend said she was embarrassed to hang out with my sister because of my sister's lack of style. Double quote. You are always wearing wolf shirts. Why do you always have to wear animal shirts? I don't know if there was an underlying reason. But I think this friend got a call for my sister. It sucked. P.S. My sister is a professional wildlife biologist now. So screw that other girl. He told me it was weird dating someone so much younger. Especially since I was just 1 year older than his little brother. This was lame. Because he was only 2 years older than me, we were in high school. It was also a lie. Because he later dated my best friend who was admittedly older than me. But only by 10 hours and 2 minutes, we had the same exact birthday. I got the privilege of being the see if I could do this relationship after a divorce. After doing the whole meet the family. Talk about moving in. Blah blah blah. Go out to dinner one night. They dropped to the effect of thanks for giving me the confidence to know that I can put myself out there again. As they explained it, they just needed to know if they could even go through the motions of a relationship. Well, at least you probably have a clue why they are divorced. Went out with a girl on 3 dates, just her and I, only to be told, I thought you were just being friendly. That's a true F. We're together nearly 2 years and things were, I thought, going great when out of the blue she breaks up. Giving me the reason that she thought things were getting too serious and might lead to marriage, and it concerned her that I wasn't Christian. Let me mention that in all the time we were together, she never went to church. I never witnessed her praying or even saying anything to indicate that she might be religious in any way. I later found out from a friend in common that she eventually hooked up with a very Christian guy who didn't believe in a man going down on a woman. But he expected oral from her. She was complaining to the friend that she missed my skills in that department. I'm generally not a petty person, but I will admit I felt very vindicated when I heard that. I felt like I was with a child because I have dwarfism. I don't blame her at all for feeling that way. And it's a totally justified reason to not feel attraction towards me. But F did that do a number on my self-esteem. Darn man. I don't have dwarfism but I'm really short so my feelings are hurt for you. Apparently I cared too much. And it just wasn't fair to him that he couldn't possibly care as much about me as I did for him. F'd me up a bit. Because that's just how I am. But whatever. I care about people and I'm sorry you were threatened by that. His exact words. I would date you but I don't want my friends making fun of me for dating a fat chick. Years later and I think of this every time I look in the mirror. On the bright side, anyone who'd let his friends control his life by teasing is someone with the emotional maturity of a baby carrot. It's incredibly juvenile even by teenager standards. I don't know how old he was when this happened. But God help this guy if he was over 15-16. You dodged a huge bullet that you would have taken straight in the face if you'd weighed less. That's not a bad thing. Really. Chick told me she couldn't date someone with as serious mommy issues as I did. My mommy issues was that she had died 2 months earlier. Yikes. No reason given. Just ghosted me. Man the F up. Josh. Yeah Josh. WTF bro? Josh. You done F'd up son. My ex would cancel plans at the last minute and explain in great detail it was so that I'd be disappointed, which would make her feel guilty, which would in turn make the guilt a form of self-punishment for disappointing me in the first place, and also so that we wouldn't do the thing she wanted to do, which would make her disappointed by that fact as a further form of self-punishment for causing the disappointment, all of which would mean that I had inflicted negative emotions on her, that is, the guilt and disappointment, so that she could be angry about the whole thing. Mercifully that particular relationship didn't last too long. I'll give her mental gymnastics routine 9/10. The old I did something wrong but I'm so upset with myself that I'm the victim card. Never gets old. Didn't get asked out on a second date in college because my FP was too high. FP equals fat potential. Wait, what? I like you too much. I look at you and think what an amazing mother you would be to our kids and I don't want to be with someone I like that much. I dated a guy that said you're my best friend. Everything about us is perfect. If I had to build my dream woman you would be it. Nothing more. Nothing less. But I don't get butterflies with you. A girl I liked quite a bit turned me down for a second date after the first one went pretty well. I asked her why and she didn't really answer the question. I found out later through a mutual friend that it was because I was the same height as her and she wanted to date someone taller. I'm 5'9" inches. My parents found out you're black hangs up. That's a big oof. This kid at my school wouldn't date me because I am adopted. He can't trust not knowing who my parents really are. Maybe she was also adopted and was worried you two were long lost siblings. I have a friend that asked her crush to prom and he said nah I have better things to do. She came up with an elaborate idea too. It was really sad. High school girlfriend broke up with me after 2 years saying it was God's will we break up. God just did you a solid. He told me he had been arrested and had his devices taken by police as he was hitting up a 15-year-old and her parents reported him. F you Alex. She was into really fat dudes and I was only kinda fat. You dodged a bullet chubby. When I was 14 my best friend wrote me a 2-page breakup letter. In the letter she explained that she needed to improve her social standing and that she couldn't do that and still be associated with me. She outlined her 14-step plan to become popular and apparently step 3 was to cut ties with all her unpopular or weird friends. I only read a few lines before I gave it back and told her she was a moron. That it was a stupid plan and that she could do all that and still be unpopular. She just smiled sadly and wished me well in life. Unfriended me from everything and refused to even look at me for 2 months. Well, eventually she realized her plan was bullshit and that her relationship with the popular kids actually got worse because of it, sort of like the end half of Mean Girls, and came crawling back. I like to think I handled that whole situation with maturity and grace, but it really messed me up for a while and it's still one of the most hurtful things a person has ever done to me. I need to stop hanging out with weird friends. You're the weird friend. Best comment of the day. I met and got into a relationship with a woman just as I was leaving the army. After a year together she was upset with me that I'd lost my soldier body. Well, of course I had. Who keeps doing military PT if they don't have to? So I put a *TLOAD of effort into losing weight and getting a decent physique back. Then she broke up with me because, and I quote, "My sudden obsession with how I look must be because I'm trying to attract other women." By chance I met and became friends with the guy who was her next relationship. They're broken up now, too. She pushed him into chasing promotions at work because he wasn't making enough money. Then when he got those promotions she left him because he was more focused on his job than her. Tell you what, though, when you got a couple of drinks into her and got her clothes off, *T got epic. Gotta love the crazy ones.